Hey everybody, it's Clef from Punchboard Paradise, and I'm back again, continuing my top 101 board games of all time. And this video is going to continue on with numbers 40 through 31. So hey, without further ado, let's get going. So at number 40 is a fun little it's kind of a programming game in a way, where you're going to be using cards in different rows, and every time you put a card in a row, you get to kind of activate that whole row. And that is Deus. Okay, Deus. So it's a kind of a game where you have an area that you're going to be working on, putting your different pieces out, and you might have some different buildings, and then you've got some armies, and you got some ships. And you're doing that by the use of these cards. And on your turn, you're going to either play a card to your tableau and then activate it and activate all the cards below it, or you're going to be doing what's called kind of a praying to the gods, I think is what it's called. I can't remember the exact terminology, but where you're going to be dumping your hand and getting some pieces that you might need or more cards. And I just have a fun time with this game. I really like the programming. It's, once again, one of those games that seems kind of weird sometimes that I like, but I just enjoy that simple programming, that simple putting the cards down, and then you're trying to surround barbarian villages and get points there. You're trying to do army raids and might be stealing points from your opponent, and then you're building these big palaces to make big points. Absolutely fun game. Just one of the ones I love. Plays quick. You can play a lot of games. I mean, I've played games in 15 minutes where sometimes just things go boom, 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 boom. And I've played games, it might take a half hour, 45 minutes to an hour. But it's quick. It does have an expansion, the Egyptian expansion, which I do have, which is cool also. Entirely new deck of cards. So if any of that sounds good to you, check this one out here. Deus, my number 40. All right, my number 39 is a classic. And this is a classic, good old Simone Luciani, Familia Brazzini, and Gili are the three ones who kind of designed this one, and it is Lorenzo El Magnifico. Euro goodness, right here. Euro goodness. This is probably, I think this might be my highest rated. Nope. Definitely have another Luciani game coming up later that's going to be higher rated than this one. But this one used to be in my top 10 years ago, and I still love it. This is your purchasing cards from different towers, and then you're putting them on your board, and then you'll have like an engine to run. You've got like a production engine. You've got like a harvesting engine. You're trying to get these the different colored cards, and the blue cards are like people that help you do different things. You're trying to stay up on a military track. You're trying to increase your faith if you've got to kind of move your faith track up so that you don't get penalties and stuff like that and get your points. Overall, just an amazing game. Lots of fun. And that is Lorenzo El Magnifico, my number 39. All right, my number 38 is a big... kind of see him coming in the frame here. Whoop! Brass! I didn't do a very good job of those coming together. But here we go. So the good old brasses. So I did not discover this game until the Roxy reprint. And these games to me are just absolutely beautiful. They're just have such beautiful art. They just have such gorgeous everything about the production, the cards. Obviously this gave us the amazing brass poker chips that I pretty much use for every game that's out there. So you can see these have gotten worn. These gotten played a lot. When these first came out, I played brass like for all. I mean, it seemed like every single weekend we'd be like, "Hey, let's play a game of brass. Let's play a game of brass," and I just love it. I love this game's interaction. You have to be careful what you do. You don't want to kind of leave that low-hanging fruit for somebody else to come and grab up and helps them out. And I just love that about this game. It's skillful, it's fun, it's tight. I am definitely in the camp of they're the same game. I know some people are going to be like, you are so wrong. And okay, they're not the same game. There's definitely differences. Obviously, there are differences between Birmingham and, the regular brass. But when it comes right down to it, the game main mechanism, all the same. Play a card, take an action. And they're basically the same actions in both games. Yes, a few different things. I'm not arguing that. I just enjoy them both. They're not going to be in different spots on my countdown. It doesn't make any sense to me why. I mean, it's just kind of a different expansion to me. That's my opinion. If you think I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. I'd love to hear it, but that's for me. They both come in at number 38, Brass. So 37, oh boy, could be a sore spot for some people out there, and I know it is. I mean, it's a sore spot for me because I really, really love this game and was looking forward to getting this expansion. And let's be honest, it does not look good. Whatever, I mean, hey, that's what Kickstarters are about. You take a chance, you're hoping to kickstart a game. Sometimes it's going to happen. Most of the time it happens. I mean, I've had nothing. There's the only game that's ever not fulfilled for me, and that's, of course, Madeira. Luckily, I'm somebody who still has the original base game, so it's not as big a deal to me. I know a lot of you didn't even have the base game and were looking to get it, and that sucks, and I know it. I'm really sorry. Not that had anything to do with it, but it's just a bummer that you didn't get it. But like I said, I was looking forward to the expansion. But the game itself, let's forget all that. Let's just talk about the game. Talk about a heavy, kind of brain-burny Euro. The coolest part about this game is you put one of your pieces out to take an action, but then at the end of the round, it's going to give you another different action, depending on where you put it. And that is something I just think is such a cool thing. Sometimes you might go take an action just because, well, I don't really absolutely need that action, but I need the other action when it comes back around. And I just find that to be absolutely just a cool thing. And I love the fulfilling every the first, third, and the fifth round, you're fulfilling those crowns requests, and that's where you get those big points at. And just fun game. If you like brain burnery Euros and you've never tried Madeira and you can get your hands on a copy of it, definitely this one is worth a try. So that's going to be my number 37, Madeira. So my number 36 is another kind of instant classic, and I know a lot of people out there, they like either the original version of this, and then some people also like kind of the newer version, which would be Clans of Caledonia, an earlier version, Terra Mystica. But for me, it's Gaia Project right here at number 36. Fantastic, wonderful, Euro-y goodness, being so efficient, all the different races, so you get to do different things with each race, and each race has a different kind of ability that you can use to try to max out your victory points. And every game is different in where the points are going to come from. This I love because of the technologies. The technologies are so cool on how they make the game run, and I just like it just better than Terra Mystica in that sense. Is the technologies really make it work for me. Recently, I've also kind of gotten to try the prototype expansion that is coming out for Gaia Project, and I'm gonna tell you right now, guys, I think they knocked it out of the park. They really did a good job, added some new factions. Obviously, still prototype. They're still working on it. I don't know everything. There might be some changes, but from what I've played, it seems very, very, very cool, and I'm excited to get my hands on it when it comes out for everybody. So anyways, that's my number 36, Gaia Project. I think I got the most big box. I still got big boxes coming here, so big box top 10 here. So my number 35, okay, I just said all these big boxes, and now I'm going to show you a small box, but this is the only one that I have is a small box on this list. And that's going to be my number 35, 3-player game only, okay? Now, definitely not my highest rated 3-player game. I've got more upcoming, but this one is a simple little card game, and for you, anybody out there who's played it, you might, it's kind of like a teach you, or there's the new kind of game Bacon that's out there that has this kind of shedding. I mean, there's a lot of shedders, but those are ones just I've kind of talked about. But this is the 3-player version right here, and this is Chimera. What I like about this game is each round you are bidding on whether or not to be the Chimera. Whoever ends up being the Chimera, the other two players are the hunters. And so then they're trying to stop the Chimera. And basically it's Chimera is trying to go out first. The hunters are trying to go out before the Chimera. The great thing about this game is, so one round, I'm the Chimera. I'm facing two other people trying to stop me. The next round, I'm part of the hunting team trying to stop the Chimera. And I like that. So it's kind of that variable partnership as you're going along. And like I said, otherwise just kind of a shedding game. This one's a little bit more like the different hands and stuff that you can play is a little bit tougher. Definitely print out a couple player aids if you're going to try this to give to everybody. But I really like it. Like Bacon, a lot more simpler, I think. It just kind of maybe simplifies kind of the shedding. But for me, I would still Chimera if I have 3 players. And, the fun thing is you can play like 2 or 3 hands and be done. Or you can play up to the 200 points or whatever it is, hour, 2 hours, whatever it would take, whatever you like to do. So that's my number 35, Chimera. So my number 34, did I just say big box? Oh, yeah. Boom! Shakalaka. What do we got here? Antiquity. Big box. Man, I'm going to tell you right now. If you like puzzle games that are mean and interactive and want to kick you in your teeth, and then when you think you finally have gotten things going, the game turns around and says, let me kick you in your teeth some more. That's Antiquity. My next splotter that is on my list, and I think maybe if you've seen some of the other videos, you've seen some other splotters on there and still some splotters yet to come. But this one, I'm going to tell you, only game I think I've ever played where I said to my opponent, I give up. We're done. I'm out. Because my entire city or cities were full of graves. Then my entire board was full of pollution. And I just couldn't do anything. I was just dying. There was nothing I could do. But boy, now, that is just one of my favorite things about this game is just how much it kicks you in the teeth. No board game has ever, tried to fight back at me as well as Antiquity does. Yet, there's still a great interaction of a board out on the thing that you're trying to do different things and your opponent's trying to dump pollution in your area. So much fun. And then the win condition. So cool. You have 4 different cathedrals that you can build. And one of those, each of those that you want to build is going to give you a different win condition. So you may be trying to do something completely different than your opponent. And then it gives you a little bit of a bonus when you build that cathedral. And then that's your win condition. However, there's a 5th cathedral you could build that just says, now you have to complete 2 of the different win conditions. But yet you get all of the abilities of the cathedrals. So cool. So awesome. Gosh, maybe want to just jump in and play this one right here, right now. I love this so much. So this is my number 34, Antiquity. All right, my number 33. Now, there's going to be a game that is similar and by these same people that's going to be further up on my list, 100%. And if you're a fan of the podcast that I do, Punchboard Paradise, you probably have already heard my top 25 games of all time on the podcast. If you haven't and you're interested, you can go to Punchboard Paradise for the podcast. Just go to your favorite podcast app and download it. Check it out. So you've definitely heard another game that's further up on the list. But right now we're talking about number 33, and that's going to be the new version of the game, which, well, not the new version, just the game here, Imperial Struggle. Okay, this is, 2-player, Anana Gupta and Jason Matthews. I just can't speak highly enough about this. Probably and unfortunately, some of these 2-player games, they're just long. So it's not like it's an easy, hey, let's sit down and just play a 2-player game. Probably the only knock that I would even have close on them, just sometimes it's hard to play. Well, when you've got so many board games, you love so many board games, it's just hard to play. And me running a podcast, I got to play new games, so sometimes it even makes it harder to play some of the games I love. But that doesn't stop this from being an absolutely amazing 2-player only game. This is Imperial Struggle. You are trying to get the most victory points against your opponent. It's a tug of war type of thing. One player's playing France, one player's playing England, and it just goes, like if I score 2 points, I go to the 2. If then the other person scores points, let's say they score 3 points, it will go back towards the 0 and then move 1 onto their side. They're trying to get it to their 20. I'm trying to get to my 20. Not only is there card play and then these tile things that you're going to be trying to switch out different areas of the board to your favor, but then there's also like these war battles that you do. That's not really like battle. You just are flipping tokens over and you did different things, but these battles, and then you're just trying to score points. And if you get all the way to the end, whoever has, the token on their side more is the winner. But I've had a lot of games that have ended in somebody winning before the end of the game. Such a great one here. And if you like Twilight Struggle, check out Imperial Struggle. Such an amazing game. All right, number 32. I don't own this game, and I'm going to because I got to play it again just here recently and really made me be like, I have to get this game. Now, I am really, I shouldn't say I like some of Phil Eklund's games, so I've enjoyed a lot of Phil Eklund's games. Some I haven't. Neanderthal was just okay to me. I didn't necessarily think that was great. A couple of the other, I've played of his aren't great. I do have some that are coming up that I do think are really great. But one that I love of his that is a kind of a series is going to be Pax Porfiriana. I don't own this one. Good thing is I got a good friend who does, and a couple of good friends that do actually. And so I do have some chances to get to play it. But I'm definitely like all over, like I need to get a copy of this because it's so fun. It's so interesting. It's so just how you play the game. I mean, it's like all PAX games. You got tons of cards, and those cards are going to be, so the game is going to be different every time because it's going to depend on what cards come in. But you're trying to collect different kind of, I want to say just like different symbols or tokens of different symbols of different things like command or outrage, and you're trying to topple the current regime, and kind of so you're kind of fighting against this regime and the other players. It's hard to describe, but it's fantastic. If you're a fan of either, like say PAX Premier 2nd Edition, or PAX Renaissance, and you're like, gosh, I'd like to try anything more Phil Eklund, definitely this is one I think you should ask to try, is Pax Porfiriana, my number 32. So that leaves us with the last one for this video, good old number 31. And we're still on good old GMT here. I think we've had, we just had one GMT game this list. Till now, this is our number 2. And this one, fantastic. Now, I will tell a lot of people now, there's some really coin games, if you've never played them, there's some great games. And they've had a new coin game system that they just came out with called the British Way. That's a 2-player coin game that's terrific. They had one before that was called Colonial Twilight. But I'll tell you right now, this game that I'm going to say it's almost a cross between Twilight Struggle and a coin game. And it's fantastic. And that is Labyrinth. Yeah, good old The War on Terror. 2001 to, question mark. Well, it's by the amazing Volko Ruhnke, who has done some of just the most greatest games I've ever had a chance to play. I absolutely love him as a designer. But this one here, kind of as it sounds, one player's kind of playing the U.S. government, and the other person's playing kind of the, I don't want to say, just kind of, the terrorist type of organization. And you're just trying to, once again, trying to tug and pull on a victory point tracker. Just so much fun. I just can't say, well, I shouldn't say it's not really a tug of war like a Twilight Struggle. It kind of just, you move up victory points and one person try to do this. But anyways, I'm not here to try to teach the game. It's just fantastic. And you can kind of see, kind of the map, and you can see the different areas. But I can't speak highly enough of this game right now. If you like coin or Twilight Struggle or Imperial Struggle and you've never tried this, get it to the table. Find somebody and say, hey, we're going to play this, or call me. Come on over. I'll play it with you. So there we go. My number 31, Labyrinth. Well, there we go. We made it through another 10 videos, 10 games on my next video. So I'm so excited because next episode we're getting even closer to number 1. And like I said, if you don't listen to the podcast and you're like, oh, I'm going to wait and see what it is, they're coming. I'm going to put them still out all on video. It's not like you're going to have to go listen to the podcast. If you want to go listen to the podcast, I'd love for you to, but if you don't, no big deal. So anyways, if you do like these videos and you're, interested, entertained, whatever, please hit that good old like and subscribe. Certainly helps out the channel. And if you have any comments or anything, this is all kind of new to me. I've been doing the podcast for years now, but I've never really done the video. So I'm just trying it out, trying new things. Hopefully you'll notice the video quality is getting a little bit better as I've been going along, as I've been trying to kind of figured out new editing and different things like that. So let me know in the comments if you do, hey, it's getting better. No, you're still terrible. Whatever you want to say, I don't care. So, but anyways, that's it for today. Thanks everybody, and we will see you next time. Bye.